Hello, 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 and thank you for joining us. Apologies for the delay. Apologies that we couldn't come online right on 7 p.m. What else can I tell you? Technical issues, a little bit of Satan, a little bit of a couple things. But I'm now ready to rock and roll. I have my cup of tea in front of me. Okay, let me not lie. It's coffee, but you know how they say, spill the tea if you have gossip? Well, do we ever have gossip for you today? And as always, talking to yourself is the first sign of madness. I'm never alone. So I'm joined in the house by my ladies, my gentlemen, and we're here to put the world to rights to find out exactly what it is you guys have been up to all week. And we're going to talk about it one after the other. I'm going to start bringing the ladies into the meeting room. They've been waiting for me to get my act together, so I'm actually the one with the problem. I do apologize, but we are now ready to rock and roll. So let me bring them into the studio and let us get this party started quickly. Hi, Rachel. How you doing today?
Hi, it is Friday. I am excited.
Listen, you're not the only one. Today I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, I haven't done this. Oh, I haven't sent this email. Oh my God, so and so is. I was like, wait, oh, everybody calm down now. If care is not taking it, it wants to look like today is Friday. Oh. So, so as soon as I realized, oh, hang on, today is actually Friday, I just stopped panicking and I was ready to rock and roll. So, Dolapo, it is the voice of the Bad Gang Club. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, ladies. Happy Friday. How are
Hey,
you
happy
all?
Friday. We're good, we're good, good. Bimbo
Yes,
is
I have bone to pick with you. Just continue.
with me, I be with Rachel HR. It can never be with me.
Uh, with Rachel, Omon,
Ah, Mokero.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, 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 thank God.
I thought it was this soup, this mashed potato matter. I didn't know it was. Hey, God. Anyway, we'll get to your bone right
No
away.
praise.
So let me bring the Queen Bee into the studio. Hi, Bimbo. How you doing?
Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to
uh,
Africa Hour. We are about to get it on.
Absolutely.
mhm.
So before we start, I need to find out what's a killer shemi and what is the is it one chicken? Is it one goat? What did I do, Dolapo?
no, first of all, welcome back, Bimbo. We missed you on Wednesday because Carmen took over the show. So
Oh yeah,
nice to
hi
have you
people.
back.
Oh, and Rachel as well, because Stella was in attendance.
Rachel was just for me, Sister Mary, Reverend Sister Oliver. But it's okay.
So now
But
that we
for
have the
you,
girls.
madam, you are back
Oh
on coffee, Abby.
I'm back on coffee. Oh. I'm back on coffee. Oh. See the house of my life outside. I'm back on coffee. Oh.
Ah, ah, you that I was starting to
But
spread the news around that I
the
have
thing
somebody that is
when
so
I
good.
okay, so here's the thing. When I quit, I very quickly, yes, I had a couple bad days where I was cranky or when I was like, oh my gosh, a cup of coffee would just get me along right now. But that one disappeared very quickly within the first couple of days. My addiction was the taste. I like the taste of coffee. I like it in my mouth. Like I could almost physically. Anyway, this is going down the pornography channel again. Sha, I miss the taste. let me let me just leave it at that. But yeah. So
Okay.
I went to Nigeria. I came back and it was either vodka or coffee. Those people will those people will deal with you. I was in Nigeria for 3.5 weeks, and that was enough to send anybody to drink. So I'm back on coffee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people who were rooting for me. But in my defense, I didn't go to jail. I didn't do anything. I didn't kill anybody. Even people who were annoying me. I didn't need bail money at any time. No, Abba. No, no, no. I tried for like 6 weeks. So I was completely off it for like 6 weeks. So,
You tried, you
um,
tried.
and we have someone else in the house. Telephone number ending 4341. Oh, I think this is in Kirikama. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi Bimbo. Is this Bimbo? There's someone trying to call into the studio with a landline number. and then 434341.
It's the rice that you fed me today.
Oh! This is my friend calling into Aproko hour. So actually, we do have a full house. Okay. So let's get it one after the other because we're already 10 minutes in. Let's us start with Keep the Change Bay. Keep the Change Bay. So I'm gonna go to who's in the house. Rachel, do you want to take Keep the Change Bay? Hi, Rachel. Can you hear me? Okay, I don't think Rachel is here. Actually, you know what? Let's do visitors first. So, Amanda, what are your thoughts on Keep the Change? So, first of all, do you know who Keep the Change Bay is? Do you know what that's all about?
Oh yeah, 5,000 naira, 1,002 for transfer, 3,800. The whole summation of her dates plus hot dog plus movie plus bottles of water and all that and all that.
Bimbo, do you know this Keep the Change Bay situation?
Of course. Yes, I do.
Correct.
I do.
So let's start at the very beginning. What did y'all think when the news initially broke? Like, all we heard, first of all, was there was a guy. He came really, quite frankly, to embarrass his ancestors on Twitter. Let me go to Dolapo because you're the token guy here, and I would really love to hear your take on this. And Dolapo, take off your responsible married man hat for a minute. What is
all right,
this?
let me put it aside.
Even if it's a Betty Aja, whatever it is, just take it off for a minute. What is this thing for men to? So this boy had gone out on a date with a girl, had invited her out to the cinema. The girl had said yes. At the end of the date, now the girl said, "See, I don't want to date you. I don't want to be your girlfriend or anything." What is the thing that men feel when it comes to rejection that makes them want to snap out, that makes them want to act in some type of way?
I guess the thing is, if I'm asking you out on a date, say, okay, I'll pick you up Saturday night. We've agreed on that. Now, the important thing is to know whether she's catching the vibe that I'm not just asking you out because you're my sister. Or,
I need you to understand that this asking out, it has only meaning.
I'm asking you, exactly, I'm asking you because definitely I'm really interested in you. So if you now have to go through the whole date and stuff and then you now come out and say, sorry, I'm not interested, you must have not been interested from get-go.
So why did you go on the date?
Through this all through this thing, and it's not really about the money.
And that's what I was gonna say. That because the dude, I think the insults for the dude to a large respect was like common 3/8. But let's remove the 3/8. We all know that there are girls who are FFO. We all know that there are girls who they will come, they will really order the lobster, they will order champagne, they will order this, they will order that, and then they'll tell you, see, oh, I've even heard I already have a boyfriend. So it's like, so why are you even here?
Can I say something?
Please do.
When did Nigerian men become so lazy? Maybe not just Nigerian men, men in general. When did the whole dating world become so lazy? Is this the 21st century? Because if I think back to my days, when I was dating, a guy will take you out once, twice, 3 times. In fact, he wouldn't even take the initial no for an answer. Okay, so you take a girl out on a date, she turns around and says, I'm not feeling you. That is like, it used to be like a welcome challenge. It used to be like, what can I do to up my game? It used to be like, oh, how can I...
and then there'd be flowers turning up at her office. There would be random...
Exactly.
Okay, I like the challenge you throw out there.
Suddenly, I like an understanding of
that
taking
changed.
you out.
That changed the moment we started having, aristos. That changed completely. Gone are the days when we were back in uni, say if or you or whatever, Valentine Day comes around and you've talked to your friend who is in that Department of Finance to make you that 3-foot tall card, Valentine card.
Ooh, those cards! Those had my cards, I remember.
Gone are those days. Now today,
basically
it's all about... Right, because also the days are...
Women still have to have a bit of integrity. You can't just say yes on the first date. It can't be a case of taking me out
speak
and then
for
all of a sudden I'm fluffing into
Speak for yourself and speak for your generation. I'm talking about those 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds today. All those kids, and that is both male and female, have this short attention span. That's why Twitter is their favorite. All right, it's all how many characters. That's
It
done.
all happening in
You don't
160 characters.
right. You toasting. In fact, they find out of toasting, as we call it in Nigeria, does not
Boom.
exist anymore.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, that there's a whole bunch of young ones growing up, no idea what toasting is. They don't know what lyrics is. They don't know what, if this letter meets you in good health, doxology, I doff my hat. They don't know about these love letters. They don't know about stuff
The
that
doxology will have been abbreviated.
yeah, abbreviate. Is Netflix or chill or nah? That's all you get these days. Netflix in or chill. So we're fast forwarding things. So this guy is obviously a product of his generation. Like I took out, I spent money on her. Let's even remove the 3/8 or no 3/8 at all. I took out, I spent money on her, and then she turned around and turned me down. So based on this context that you've now given us, Dolapo, I can see where he might have been coming from. Which brings me to the next level, which is why clap on Twitter? Why, if the girl turns you down, used to be a guy will just go home and lick his wounds, or he just won't talk to her again, or
You don't even tell your parties.
You won't tell your party now because it hurts your rep. Because your parties will be like, hey, and we thought you were a bad guy. We thought, you show, carpenter, guys would make fun of you. So guys didn't used to tell their friends. So why is it now that a guy thinks it's okay to tell the world that he was turned down? Because I see what he tried to do. He tried to make it about her. Tried to make it like, oh, it is because of the food she came out. It is because she's a hungry, because that's what he said. He actually did hashtag hungry broke bitch, right? That's basically what he did. And then he cussed and he swore and he used every type of F word going, basically. Sorry, I think Rachel, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was like, all because of 3/8. I think it's because in this day and age, we all live our lives on social media. We have the word privacy doesn't exist anymore, or even respect for yourself, not to talk of the other person. Otherwise, that was the dumbest move ever. I have to go take lessons from that girl. I thought I was the queen of clapback, but my goodness,
no, that clapback deserves an Oscar. The clapback is that there will never be a clapback that will clap harder than that clapback again.
I don't even understand what all this clapback and all this. Why do you even need to put everything?
It is the generation. The generation is you can't insult somebody and go. They will have to clap back. The person has to say something.
But
let me tell you.
Think of it like this.
Okay, sorry, Bimbo, come in.
Like,
yes.
You know how? Think of it like this. You know when people used to have a situation where they'd be like, okay, you know what, you're calling me out. Okay, I'll meet you outside. Let's go sort this out. That's pretty much what it is on Twitter. The guy threw down the gauntlet and went, yeah, that's it. Hence the broke ass bitch or whatever he called the hungry broke bitch. And the girl too went, so you called me out. Okay, you want to fight? Let me do now. Okay. And this is the thing. It all happens online now because they all exist online. That is where their life is. So yes, she came back online. Epic.
And answered him online, I guess. Go ahead, Dolapo.
Both of them are just trivial and just totally wrong. I mean, I remember that.
Wait, so was she wrong? Was she wrong? Actually, you could say she was wrong because he never mentioned her name. He didn't tag her at any point in time. His initial,
Well, I'm just assuming that whatever he wrote also was correct, apart from the fact that, maybe broke as hungry or whatever. The fact that I'm making certain assumption here. She was not interested in dude. Period. Now, maybe her lack of interest was from get-go, or was from the date because dude himself didn't behave himself during the date. I don't know. I'm hoping that is the case. All right?
I'm thinking that because if maybe she genuinely went out with him. Yeah. Maybe she genuinely went out with him. Yeah.
You see, I just don't understand this idea of everybody putting everything out. I remember there was a party that happened somewhere in Ibadan, and it was one of those, on a night also, I know we see Roma on a night, so we went, And if you remember parties in the 80s back then, the DJ is always on form, and then shortly about 2, 3 a.m., the light goes out and the music change and everything.
Blues.
Looking at the girl, and I'm like, okay, fine. She's with like 3 other friends or whatever, so I can't really talk to her because you learn all these things. These are skills you acquire as you grow
On the
older.
battlefield, you acquire it on the battlefield. You toss the girl,
Yes,
she turns
you
you
don't
down.
approach.
You learn better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You don't approach a babe when she's with her girlfriends because they will claw your eyes out.
absolutely.
So the moment you saw that those ones were being engaged, either somebody's supposed to want to go and dance, one is going towards the washroom or whatever, and
You
you see that
swoop
she's
in.
alone, and this is the time to move in. You move in. Unfortunately, she caught me down, and I knew my guys were watching.
Oh Jesus!
So I just said, it's okay. Just do me a favor. Put both hands on your stomach while I walk back to my guys. So she did, and I walked by, and my guys were already shouting his shoe. I said,
She's not feeling well. Oh my gosh!
Do
But
I
this
need
is
to
the
be
thing.
all out there, put everything? No,
But I think
I don't get kids today.
the kids today, they're learning to do it fast. That's where Netflix and chill comes from. That's where, like, I'm gonna come over to your house, and for the price of your monthly, your own monthly subscription, I can decide if I want to have sex with you or not. It's all happening fast. There's no romance. There's no toasting. There's no anything. There were times when a young guy would touch a breast, and that would keep him going for like the whole semester. Girl, you take checking, she let me put my hand on that.
Even if it was, you know what? Even if it was for only 5 seconds, that he was able to just caress. The story he would tell his guys was he was there for 2 hours.
He was caressing and scarashing and scarashing. It's crazy. So the clapback happened. What do we think of the clapback? I personally think it was epic. Does anyone think it was overkill? Does anyone think the girl didn't have to go down that route? Does anyone have anything to say about that clapback other than epic?
I loved it apart from putting his name out there, because her name was never put there.
Anybody else? Is Rachel in the house? Have we got Bimbo in the house?
I am here. That was an epic. Epic clapback. I actually don't think she put so much thought into it. I think she just did it.
She just went, lol. How much was your money? Take. And then she wrote, keep the change, bro, is as the reference. I mean, that girl, I don't know. Her parents need to be proud, because she didn't swear at him. She didn't call him no names. She didn't, because he popped off. He was rude. There's no other words for what he did. It was rude. I agree.
Next time he'll do his research.
He will look at the girl he's talking
to. The other thing to think about is they might be in a small community of people where people know them. They know each other. They might work in the same environment. They might socialize in the same environment.
They're both students. So this is the thing. It's not even like they had followers. I went back to Miss Moshiko's tweets from months before, weeks and months before. 2 reads, 3 reads, and they were basically all in the same department. People that are like, guys, when is BCH 305 today? Guys, so it is as if the whole school is communicating on Twitter. How people don't talk to themselves anymore. They send themselves WhatsApp messages, or so it's not like they were trying to be celebrity, or they were trying to create a scandal or something. He said what he said the same way he would have said it among his small group of friends. Where we went out. That's basically what he did, except he did it on a worldwide platform. And what she did is basically like the rumors came to her. She got to find out that, this guy is saying so and so about you. But did you follow him out, and did you do this? And she then said how much was even his money that he even said. They basically did a conversation we would have had 10 years ago, 15 years ago on a worldwide page.
But the conversation will have been with a limited group.
Precisely. Precisely, because I looked back at her tweets, 2 likes, 3 likes, even him, 2 likes, 3 likes, 2 likes, 3 likes, 2 likes, 3 likes. Today's exam was tough. I'm tired of this school. When are they going to call off this strike? That's kind of like the tone. So they just did exactly what we would have done, but they did it in front of the world. So I saw a video today, actually, of a whole bunch of kids. There was no one there older than 13, 14. I don't know if any of you have seen this video of them seeing a Walkman for the first time. And their minds are completely blown. They don't get the part that it needs a battery like Duracell. They're like, okay, so where do you charge it? They can't get their heads around, you play, the one that completely killed them was fast forward and rewind and everything. Like, you can't even just click next to the next song. You have to find, stop, play. Oh no, it hasn't reached where I'm going. Stop, play. Oh no, I've gone too far. Oh yeah, rewind and all of that. Then take it out when it comes to the end of the tape, turn it around. And we thought we were at the cutting edge of technology. So it's just times move on. And these children did what children do, young people in university, young teenagers, or whatever you want to call them. But when you do it on a public space, understand that your shame will also happen on a public space. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because it's disgrace. There are people in Canada now that know he's an idiot. There are people in Antarctica now that know he's an idiot. So that's it.
They stoned him and sent him to Ghana. We have removed our Nigerian citizens.
Oh, did you guys see this one? Oh, let me read it out for you guys. So somebody said, on behalf of the Yoruba Boys Congress, we disown Mr. Pablo Ayodeji. Igbo boys can have him. Some, Mr. Prince Chukudi, on behalf of the Igbo Men Association, we decline your offer for transfer of Mr. Pablo Ayodeji, aka Keep the Change Bay. The Hausas can have him. Mr. Taura Uro, on behalf of Hausa Men Congress, we decline your offer for transfer. The Ijos can have him. Ijos say, on behalf of Ijo Men and Niger Delta as a whole, we reject this man. Niger Delta men are warriors. He is a chicken. Ghanaians can have him. Adamu Yakubu says, if Ghanaians can't have him in peace, we want him in the Libya desert so that the gods of the sun will shine on his empty skull. The boy. So, let's talk about the aftermath. This girl banks with First Bank. The boy banks with Wema Bank, right? Wema Bank did a flyer, bagam, first thing in the morning, the very next day, saying, hi, you can now open you don't need a something to keep the change. So if you're interested in your small change, come to Wema Bank. You can open an account for as little as 50 naira. And then they said, we don't want your money, because she did a transfer to a Wema Bank account. He banks with Wema Bank. And they gave her 5,000 naira. First Bank came out, did their own flyer saying, you are a first gem, hashtag first gem. We nominate Miss Moshiku as a first gem, Miss Moshiku, sorry you had to part with 5,000 naira. Here's 5,000 naira. A couple of other brands saying, she's a symbol of women's empowerment. We will talk about that if you girls really want to talk about that. I don't see how that's women empowerment. But so the lady we have in the studio, Amanda, are you still with us?
I am. I'm here.
Actually, let's do a little plug, shall we? Just me talking about women's empowerment just now made me think about the organization that you run. It's actually called Empower a Woman. So do you want to tell the house really quickly what Empower a Woman is all about and what exactly it is that you do? And if you need any help in any way, do you want to tell the house exactly what that would look like?
So, have to put me on the spot. I came here for Aproko. I didn't know that I was going to be. I didn't know I was going to have to be doing this. I came here to hear just. Thank you, Rachel. So, Empower Women is a non-profit organization that's been set up to meet the needs of women who are vulnerable. So, women who are going through domestic violence, women who are in prison, just any woman that's in a vulnerable situation. Women like Keep the Change Bay, actually, She's vulnerable with all the nonsense that's been going on around her. But yeah, it's just really to help women get their worth, their strength, their purpose, and to empower women in any way that we can, whether it's helping them set up small businesses, whether it's helping them to be the best that they can be, in any way that we can help. We're there as an organization to help them. In terms of practical help, well, we do gifts, so we do small gifts over Christmas, which is another long thing. But I guess it's just, the one thing that I would say is us as women need to be able to, give a shout out to other women. We need to be able to be mindful of the women around us and finding ways that we can support each other, finding ways that we can help each other, because vulnerability is not one of those things that's written on their forehead. A woman can have all the woman in the world and she will still be vulnerable in terms of things like emotional abuse that's going on that nobody's talking about. And so we just need to be sensitive to the needs of the women around us, if, I can plug anything in. In terms of this particular situation that we're talking about and whether or not she's an epitome of what a woman should be and that kind of thing, in a way I would say yes, because she could have taken that line down, but she chose not to. She chose to say, well, here's your money back. It wasn't really about the money. I just wasn't.
I don't want to date you. I don't want to date you.
Exactly.
Okay, but don't we?
About it.
I want to talk to Rachel and any of that, all this, and I know Amanda too is a worry girl. Is this not what we called vex money?
Well, yeah, in a way, absolutely.
It is like if a guy wants to start being some type of way because he took you out for dinner, well, fine boy, take your money, man. It's not really about the dinner. So what is the moral of the story? Don't eat stuff you can't pay for.
Can we even be fair to the girl? The fact that she even told him after the first date, how many girls would have carried it on? How many girls would have let the guy on, date after date, money after money, giving him just little bits of hope, knowing within her that this wasn't going to go anywhere? So she sat down, she spent time with him. That meeting, she's like, throughout the movie, throughout the conversation, only God knows what happens. And she thinks, well, this is not going to work. And she just said it to him. First time, I think, she deserves some kind of recognition for being able to stand up and say, this is not going to work right from the beginning.
I know some girls that would say, my personal mugu, my personal, they store boy's name, Toib, credit, Chiedu, free ride, Abubakar, popcorn, this Dolapo, tell me I'm lying.
I don't deal with such people, so
you wouldn't know that. But
I'm sorry. I grew up in Ibadan where we didn't have that much. We didn't have bad bitch. We didn't have takwa bay. So we had to become very creative. Hence, Ibadan guys have that rap. We're real smooth with it.
Oh, the boy is an Ibadan boy. Oh. This keep the change bay. Oh my God! If you know what happened to Ibadan.
When I say Ibadan, I'm not talking about today anymore. Please.
You're not talking about all these people that are fighting over 3/8. Amanda raised something about vulnerable women, which takes me quite smoothly into the next topic, which is Kemi Olunloyo. Oh God, there's a woman called Kemi Olunloyo. Dolapo, I'm gonna let you take this one because I can hear you sighing already.
Well, Kemi is an older sister to a friend. But Kemi is the daughter of a former governor of your state.
Absolutely.
So Kemi is sort of like a big sister, if I'll put it that way. Not that we really interact that much. She used to live in the States, and then she moved over here to Canada, to Toronto. Was deported from Canada.
So let me get that right. She was deported because she acts like she just stood up and she left. She wanted to go back home.
No, she was deported. It's called a voluntary deportation. She was deported.
Which one is voluntary? Who voluntarily deports themselves, please?
They will tell you leave the country on or before these dates, and you let us know when you're leaving so that we can confirm.
That
as opposed to them coming to pick you up, right?
I see.
So then I guess she's been not a blogger. She's been an activist. She used to when she was in Toronto.
Yes.
She used to be a pain in the ass of the Toronto police because she was always about police on black crimes and the injustice and everything. So she was on TV a lot.
Okay.
So I think she took that when she went back home and decided to think, start feeling like, she was a big blogger or whatever. But she descended into the abyss of more of like a junk journalist and,
Yes.
she started saying, spreading rumors about people. She got into fights with so many people in the KG, I guess is one.
No, you
There's
don't
one
even
more where she was
understand.
me.
Everybody, nobody, she has said stuff about her father. She said her father worships idols and everything. She said one day she woke up, there was a coffin right outside their house and that her father put it there. She says things, she says things that are, on the one hand, almost like the truth, but twisted it another way. Like there's a chair here in the studio, and I can say there's a chair here, or I can say this chair was put in this place by this person who put some fetish things inside of it. There was a day she had an argument on Susie Retty's wall. Susie Retty is some kind of, I would imagine, like a Facebook blogger, if you like, or whatever. She used to have a show. I don't think the show runs anymore, but this actually happened on Susie Retty's Facebook wall. She was having a disagreement with a young man. And at the end of the disagreement, something to do with politics, nothing to do with relationships or human beings or people at all, she cooked up a story in her head that this man is a pedophile. This is a man with 6 children. And she said, oh, he's a known pedo. She doesn't know this man from Adam. She doesn't know him. That was the first date she was ever bumping into him on Retty Susie's wall. Oh, he's a pedophile. This. He's being warned away from children. She's going to make sure his kids get taken away from him because she's sure, excuse me, she's sure he would have touched up his kids. She's sure he would have this. And then she went on her blog to do an entire post about anybody that sees Mr. XYZ. I'm not going to say his name because the story has died now, so there's no point getting him into. And he was distraught. Not because anybody believed that he was a pedophile or anything like that, but just amazed that somebody can just wake up, cook that thing about you, and because they have the right number of followership, they can spread it. They can make it go far. They can, thousands of people read that to the point where he had to go and make an official comment on his Facebook wall. He says his auntie called him, this one called him, that luckily for him, his mom is in the village and doesn't know Facebook from Bookface and all of this. But the people in his circle, the elders in his circle who know what Facebook is and all of this, and he was getting some really quite disturbing calls. Or because he had a disagreement with Miss Olunloyo online. So let's take this one step further. Do you know the current predicament that she's in right now?
Yeah, I don't know when it started. I don't know what she wrote about this so-called Port Harcourt-based pastor. But I will imagine it will be no different than what she's written about every other person either.
Yeah.
So, as much as I love to hate her for who she is and the way she carries herself, I still feel like there's an injustice that was being done to her.
Okay, I agree with that. And I also think, then what is the next step? What do we do with Miss Olunloyo? Because this is what I feel. If it is based on slander is a civil case in Nigeria. You cannot serve time for slander. Pata, you're going to have to, settle out of court or pay damages or whatever the case may be. She is currently in prison stripes. She is in prison stripes. And they carried her from Lagos and carried her to Port Harcourt, where this guy has influence. So she lives in Lagos. She wrote the thing in Lagos. She dwells in Lagos. They went to carry her from Lagos. And by the time she reached Port Harcourt, from the second of reaching Port Harcourt to being in prison uniform is not up to 24 hours. Prison uniform, not cell that's pending, as in the equivalent of kirikiri, in prison uniform without a lawsuit.
Well, Nigeria, we all understand what that country is like. Number one, this is a country where the police themselves don't even know what law they're enforcing. Right? Even if it's a traffic offense, they don't even know what rules you're breaking. So this is a country where people can generally just walk to a police station and, scratch that. People who have this kind of money don't walk into police stations. They pick up the phone and call the DPO or the CP and say, this person is a nuisance and I want you to deal with him. Those may not be the actual words, but I'm trying to be as
but
close
that's
to it.
yeah, absolutely.
And that is what they would do. And this, based
For
on
the
the
right
depth of
amount,
your
that person
pocket,
will not
they
come.
will not
Absolutely.
say, exactly. They will not call one sergeant and say, take your boys, go and pick that person up.
That's right.
For what? You don't know. What evidence against you don't know.
You don't know.
But somebody with deep pocket has called for you to deal with him and you are doing that. That is one. Secondly, like we all know, libel and defamation of character are not criminal offense. Some people are trying to argue that there's a criminal defamation. I know defamation
is not criminal.
There is a law on the book. There's a law on the books. I'm not sure whether it's a federal or some state's law. There is a criminal defamation. But the United Nations and several other world organizations have called for countries that have such laws to abolish them, so on the basis that defamation cannot be criminal. All right.
Say person talk something about you, you can kill the person. What are you on about? What are you on about? How on earth?
Hold on a second. That is one thing. So now if we all agree that it cannot be criminal, it can only be civil, then you cannot arrest anybody over a civil case. Sue me to court and let both of us come and argue before a judge. That is the second thing that is wrong with that. The third thing that I saw that was totally wrong with that was that this is a country that has a police commissioner in all states. How can you send police officers from Port Harcourt to Lagos?
And they were actually able to carry her. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So, even if I don't know anything about legal, at least I've watched enough films. Hey, you're from Connecticut PD. You are not allowed to come and practice. You can't.
I understand. They are federal. It's a federal police. We don't have state police, so we won't be able to argue and say, okay, you're from Port Harcourt. But we can still argue that a little bit on the basis that each state has a command, even though we all report to the same Inspector General in Abuja. But we still have a command in each state. And you cannot, it's kind of like saying there's an armed robber they're tracking. And you now come and pick him up in Lagos, and the police command won't know anything about your operation. You can't operate like that.
You can't do a sting. You can't do a sting in,
On that basis alone, as a judge, I will just throw the whole thing out.
Absolutely, because the case is not even on any solid. But let's talk about Ms. Olunloyo. If she comes out of this, I hope she does. I really hope she does, because, nobody should. It's still injustice at the end of the day, whether we like her or not, whether we hate her or not, whether she's even said stuff about us or not. What is the problem? Where does journalism end? Yes, please speak.
Okay. With her, I don't even think journalism ever started. All right. This is someone who just wants to be relevant. And I think she came back to Nigeria at a point in time where being a blogger was starting to pick up. And she could see certain people become real famous and become rich with it. And she wanted to be on that level. But unfortunately, she did not. If those people had a formula, she never followed it. The formula she followed was to go into the gutter with everybody, including what's the other one that is in? I think my wife showed me in Ireland or whatever.
Democopus. Yeah.
The Abike and the.
Abike and Atoke. We covered that on the show. Yeah. I think she's a narcissist. I absolutely think she's a narcissist.
She got into war with that lady, with the Abodere lady also,
and
she went back and forth over it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she thought she'd become more famous by doing that, and then she'll be able to drag,
I don't think she was trying to be I don't think she was trying to be famous. Go ahead, Rachel, please.
I really think Kemi is, and I'm not using this as a crutch for her, she's got some psychiatric issues, be it bipolar schizophrenia.
I agree.
This woman is suffering from, she's displaying megalomania,
absolutely.
Delusions.
Absolutely.
delusions. And her education, her intellect actually makes it worse because she does not believe, will not believe that she's mentally ill.
Not just that, it's not that because she doesn't believe. Of course, people who suffer from grandiose, they don't believe. But the thing is, she's highly functioning. So it is not the same as a crazy man on the street saying, I am God. God spoke to me personally. I saw God yesterday. She doesn't have that kind of megalomania. She doesn't think she's somebody. She can actually speak intelligently.
People like her are actually more dangerous because she doesn't have the megalomania that you expecting or that
Precisely.
Can you hear me?
Precisely, yes.
That we would expect. But she is displaying the symptoms that...
That's exactly what I mean. She's a highly functioning...
I am antipsychotic.
Absolutely no remorse, which is... That's some of the traits of psychopathy. No remorse, no acknowledgement of consequence. No, this is what I did. So if I do this, this is what will happen to this person. So therefore, I shouldn't do this because this person doesn't deserve this. She doesn't have any of those things. The desire to stay relevant, which is one of which by the way is not even driven by desire for fame or money. She's not trying to build a house in Banana Island. She's not trying to move on up in the world. She's not trying to be friends with the governor or the president. She is just trying to stay relevant. She is just trying to have her name stay on your lips. So that is megalomania on a high level, backed up with intellect, backed up with she can actually speak in complete sentences, and she never naked for main road. And at that kind Chris they had to cure pass.
Yep.
Yeah, and really with this particular case or issues that she's going through, before we can even start pronouncing any kind of wrong guilt on her, I want to know, because before you can conclude that she lied or she defamed this pastor, I would like to know if what she said is true.
Thank you.
Or not.
Who has the records? Because here we are today with Pastor Apostle Suleiman. We are here today that they could have easily said Otobo is a liar, but except for all the other women that came to the fore. So who knows if what she said was even true?
So part of what she said in this instance, this Port Harcourt pastor, is that this Port Harcourt pastor was having an affair with Yabo Ojo.
Again?
Now bear in mind, this is the same Yabo Ojo that's been linked to Apostle.
Dolapo, can I just say something? You just said the Yabo Obo. That's what you just said. Let's move
on. Thank God, well, they don't understand that word here. Good.
Let's move on. Rachel, Shabi, you didn't understand that one.
I don't speak Yoruba, right?
Yeah, exactly what I thought.
Yet, thank God, at least you're totally guarded against the rubbish that Yoruba people say. You don't need to know it.
So,
but I mean, I want to know
what exactly it is that she said that's so abhorrent. What exactly it is that she said that led her to be in prison uniforms. As we know from the person who jumped from the Third Mainland Bridge so tragically a couple of weeks ago, our mental health care is second to none. She should have been picked up years ago. She is a danger. Sorry, go ahead.
Say something about that, Rachel. Every time a lot of people say our mental health care is next to none. The one thing about mental health care is that there is no one that has a great mental health system.
Yes.
And as much as you know that these people are mentally ill, if they do not consent to getting help, there's nothing any government can do. The only time it can be forced on them is when they become a danger to self or others. And let me tell you, the bar for that is extremely high. It will boggle your mind as to what is determined as a danger to self and others. It falls back, and I'm sure the father has no interest in her because he has.
And that is the thing. I think a lot of people have washed their hands because here in the UK, certainly I dated my partner, one of my exes. His mom was what do they call them now? It's no longer called bipolar. Manic depressive. She's manic depressive. And they had her committed more times than I've had hot dinners. They'll take her off the thing. She seems to be stable. She'll be on her medication. Before the next thing we know, the kids will call up and say, listen, mommy has started talking, brr, 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 brr. That thing has started with her again. Because really, yes, the family, the kids, my partner, him and his siblings would call up and get her committed. As in, they'll put her in a hospital until she calms down again. So her own manic depression tended more towards mania. She was hardly ever depressed. If she stops taking her medicine, she did dress come mania, dress all the time come mania. And as she got older, as she lost her physical powers, her thing became verbal. She would stop people on the street. She would start talking to them. Hey, you, what do you think you're doing? I don't care about whatever. And then she would go and stop another person, and she would talk non-stop. My God, I thought I was a talker. The first day I met this woman, I saw mania up close and center. Like, so when they say person they crazy, so they really they be completely fully dressed, fully everything great, clean, everything. She was manic. She was absolutely manic. Took her straight back to Germany. They had her committed the same day. So I know over here it can be done and quite. I mean, again, I don't know what the laws are like in America where you live, but over here it can be done and done quite easily. But again, someone has to report that.
Someone has to initiate it, to trigger it. They're not just going to pick them up from the train or just because they're putting out weird posts on the internet, unless you're threatening to kill or blow something up. That's a different scenario. So someone has to initiate it. But in our culture, we don't talk about mental health. We don't hide them. And then in the next breath, we say the government is not doing something.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I hope first of all, I hope she gets out of there, because think what, like her, love her, hate her, whatever you might think of her, libel, slander, or defamation, call it whatever you want, is a civil affair, and she shouldn't be, and that cannot be helping her state of mind. And if she does, I really
get it. I don't even get it if a pastor who has that much clout and influence still decides to go ahead and use that clout and his money to beat down somebody like this in this manner. How exactly is he being Christ-like to his followers?
Ask Auntie Oni Range Rover how apostles are Christ-like. Please, let's move on. We have literally 6 minutes, and I want Zolapo to take this one from beginning to end. Ajeku ìyà ni ó jẹ. Ajeku ìyà ni ó jẹ. Anybody? Dolapo, yeah.
Please, this is it. Well, I don't know whether I said it here before or whether it was on Bumi's show when this guy came up. When he first came out and we saw him in the Senate. I know someone that knows him. This guy is nothing but a tout.
He is a tout.
He is no different from Fayose.
He is a complete tout. That is why he was allowed to. That was not allowed. That is why they graduated him from ABU. He was there for like 9 years for BSco. 9 years.
Are you even sure that he graduated? Because he entered ABU with 3 credits only. Which university takes you with 3 credits?
My dear, I don't know. What I know is, what the VC has come out to say is that he constituted a nuisance on campus. He riled students up to violence. He brought all his thugs whenever he wanted something and it didn't go his way. He would get all these activist boys, all these AWO boys. I don't know what the equivalent of AWO boys would be in ABU, but he got the Kegites. He got them all together, and he got them to create a fuss and create a stampede whenever he felt things weren't going his way. The school sat down and took an exceptional decision that shit about for degree one law. I mean, you shall stay here if you already have.
That decision is even questionable, because I'm not even sure, because it's not the decision that should be coming out to come and confirm that.
That's what I heard.
Let the Senate of the university confirm that. Remember, the VC only said, you know what? He only brought out, I think, was it third semester result or third semester classes? You know,
not the the graduates. Yeah, that's not the full
right.
graduation.
That's not confirmation of graduation. Right.
That's just confirmation of he was actually in that school at some
prior
point.
Prior to this issue coming out, this is what I've heard about this guy, that this guy never graduated. So it wasn't this issue that brought it out for me. I've heard
there was a
about
lady on Facebook who said, Viola Ifeanyiwa Okolie said she entered ABU and met him there. She left ABU, complete with strikes and how many years she did there, and left him there. As far as she knows, he did not graduate because he was never in any classes. He was never in any, he was not a student. He was a part of the infrastructure. So my question is this: what does it take? Why is this person still here? Why do we still hear his name? He has said he can rape Remi Tinubu and get her pregnant. Then he turned around and said he didn't say that. Do you know he went to sew convocation uniform? Do you know he turned up at the Senate? This is one of the people who make, let's not talk about whether these laws are actually implemented and whether police, like what we're just saying about Ms. Olunloyo and what have you. This is where the decisions governing Nigeria are made. And he sits on this panel. He sits as a member of the Senate.
But see, when you're not educated, you don't know things. The gown he wore in to that chamber, first of all, was not a graduation gown for bachelor's degree. That's the PhD.
Thank you. Because he had the whole hat and everything. I saw the puff hat and all of that.
And secondly, the gown never belonged to you.
Thank you.
At least I know for federal universities, they don't sell the gowns.
No. So for you, he go sew am, he go meet tailor, he go sew am, and now he has been found out. Yeah, because there's no that's he doesn't know what it's even supposed to look like. He just felt he had a point to make. Now he's been found out as having lied. Forget ABU or no ABU. He has actually been found out to the LSE. He said he went to Harvard. He said he went to he said he went to Harvard. Oh, Bimbo's gonna kill me. Bimbo, are you there?
Hi.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm just getting your message. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're gonna add a couple minutes because maybe Bimbo has a couple points and I never got her points. We'll go back to Ms. Olunloyo if you need to, real quick, and we'll come back to Senator Melaye. What does it take to impeach? What does it take to say someone is a liar? What does it take? Where are we with this guy right now?
For me, I don't think he cannot be impeached. He can be recalled.
He can be recalled. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think that's ever going to happen at any time in Nigeria. I think the bigger problem, and I'm sorry, I'm going to take it to journalists. This man contested for an election. Why didn't you, where were these questions? Why didn't you give the questions you asked? This is what was done to Trump. Anybody. You question this before these people get into office. Not 2 years after, and then because somebody offends you, you want to start doing things. Be a journalist.
No. What I'm now even saying is, even if we didn't question him then, if something comes to light, so for example, we now have reason to believe that you did this, or we thought we had this, but actually we got it wrong, or we believed you when you said this is this, or we got it wrong, oh, we did blah 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 blah. So
nobody's recalling him.
That's crazy.
I don't believe it's not going to happen. Nobody's recalling him. Or they will recall him in 2019, or 2027.
The politics of in Nigeria is very simple. He has hitched his own wagon to Saraki's own. Yes. All right. So long as Saraki is there, he will be fine. If you're able to topple Saraki, then Dino will be the one that will go down in flame. All right. Now, I have no problem, or I would have had no problem, if, say, his bachelor's was questionable, But for whatever reason, Harvard was able to confirm that he graduated with a master's. I will have no problem because then the bachelor's is irrelevant. He has a higher degree.
I agree with that.
But this guy knows exactly, because I saw his picture 12 years ago. His neck was
long.
thinner than anybody
Yes,
in a farming area. Suddenly, within 12 years, because he started as a tout that was protesting oil. Yeah, he started as a tout, a very loud tout that was part of the protest against gas pump prices back then it was in the 90s or early 2000s. That's where he came from, and he became noticeable. And the thing is, when all these politicians notice you, that you can make noise and you can gather a following, they pull you outside, give you some money to do their bidding, and you start moving up, you start climbing the ladder from there, which is what he did. This guy does not have anything that he can point to as a source of income for himself. That, okay, because I don't know where he got money from that he can afford a Bugatti or whatever, that he can afford all those luxurious cars that he had, other than from stealing from the Senate.
Absolutely. Oh no, he's a thief. So there's nothing. If you tell me he does blood money, I will say yes. If you tell me he sacrifices virgins for money, I will say yes. If there's nothing bad you can tell me about Dino Melaida, I will say, Dino can never be that bad. There is no good bone in his body. He's a horrific human being. It's 8:02. We are way running over schedule. Aproko hour is never an hour anymore. I want to use this opportunity to apologize to Bimbo. Bimbo, I'm so sorry, baby. I had you on mute. You were in that conference. Every time I tried to bring you in, it just kept giving me a whole lot of noise, so I couldn't. I just put it on mute. Speak to me. Do you have any points you want to raise about any of the topics we discussed? I'm really, really sorry, sweetie.
No, just Kemi, whatever her name is, Olunloyo. Yes, it's not ideal that she's in jail because of something she said. But to be honest, really, from Canada, she should have been sectioned to begin with. You can see the psychosis had started then. So yeah, unfortunately, she's now not going to get the help that she needs while she's in jail, and she's probably just going to deteriorate, even though she is a high functioning.
You can imagine that kind of thing. Person. Yeah, you can imagine that one followed with what's the word I'm looking for? What is jail? Like restriction of access. I don't know what to call. You can imagine that kind of megalomania now being restricted, now being hidden from the world, she will deteriorate. She will.
Yeah, and that's just it's unfortunate because as much as I don't like her, that's not ideal. And whoever the pastor or guy, whatever is, he needs to be taken down a peg or two as well. How do you get someone to go and carry person from Port Harcourt all the way?
That's the person that shouldn't even be
kidnapping. Carrying someone over state line against their will. Is that not kidnapping? I don't care if you're the police.
Thank you.
That's just unacceptable. And then this senator, whatever, in fact, I don't even know where to begin with that one. I think that those kind of people, why?
And then he does a song. He does a song laughing. He does a song laughing. Laughing at
the country.
It's okay.
Look at the state of the country because of people like that. That's who you have in power. That's a senator. I mean, tell me, forget whether he even lied about all his qualifications. There are people that do not have the qualifications that he lied about that do a great job because they are smart.
Listen, there was a woman on her knees under the table with Bill Clinton after he lied and he didn't lie and says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. When you point blank had your penis in her mouth. When we point blank had semen that belongs to you on her blue dress. People are like, he's doing the job. If we had a senator that was like, oh, this is the senator that brought about this law, this law, this law. Why are you so in convocation dress?
But he's obviously incapable of doing a decent job. He's obviously incapable of doing any job at all. I mean, it's not just about his personal life.
Oh, he has pitched.
It's also his professional life.
If they remove Saraki, he will get with another. He's a thug for hire. He's a mercenary. He's just.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that much about him. Frankly, I don't really care that much about him. I just think people like that, and this is me going to the extreme, just need to be taken out back and shot. I don't see the use of him. If not for his children, I would just say just get rid of him, roll him over with a hammer.
What do you mean if not for the children? Everybody that they give P45, they not get picking. What's my own with if not for the children? If the money he's stolen is not enough for him and his children, then he should go and live under a bridge. What's my business? When you do gross, you do gross misconduct, you get dismissed. That is what life is, no? At least that's how it is for everybody else.
Somebody like that. If somebody like that is my father, you think I even want to bear the name alive?
Thank you. Even people, distant relatives, there are people who do just because they're eating off of him. There are people who do. Do you know the people who turn up? My uncle was actually who are the people they call honorable, like Senate, but for Ogun State and the smaller, not up to the Melayas, whatever. And people.
House of Rep.
House of Rep. God bless you. And people turned up claiming, Baba, elemo ansin. Baba, awala dibo fun yo. Baba, awala pe gbogbo youth, gbogbo biba. Baba, and there will be random people saying, to ba ti da fun yo, ti da fa no niyen. Once it's good for you, it's good for us as well. Baba, moto ni mo tin sun latojo e ma ba mi wa nkan ni o. Like as if you owe them. Like as if you owe them. Yeah. So there are people who will answer Melaye proud. I beg, he's my uncle. Thank you very much. If you don't like him, go and die. Yeah. He is my pay packet. He is my monthly income. In fact, as I'm looking at him, he's my pension. I'm quitting work. There are people who said, my guy don't enter. Even in this UK, bimbo. My guy don't enter House of Rep. They go house. There are people who stand up and leave. And actually leave. Mm-hmm. Leave to go and sit on this money. Now, the person who is at the House of Rep looks at it that I can't just steal enough for myself. I have to steal enough for my children as well, because this gig is a 4-year gig. I don't know if these people are going to get voted back again this time in 4 years. So I have to take whatever I want to take now within this 4-year period. Now, that money is just not enough. I have to also take it and steal for family and friends and everybody else who might want some. Now, that stealing is still not enough. I cannot live in a and contest this seat and get this seat and then come back to my face you in Ajegule. So basically, I'm going to buy a house in Lekki. Basically, I'm going to move. Basically, I'm going to... So when is the stealing enough? All my mates get house for London. So what's it can't do me? I mean, no sabi go London. Or I mean, no sabi... It's just endemic. It is continuous. It is a cycle. It is fed by other people who tell them this is how you need to be now. It is...
It is fed by that evil spirit of I must do past my neighbor.
I better pass my neighbor. Yeah.
Yes.
I better pass my neighbor.
Because that thing is so rampant in Nigeria at the moment, that one has a Benz, I'm going to buy a Range Rover, I'm going to buy a Bentley, why must you? And that is the thing that
because they're not looking at any work as I'm gonna do this for 50 years, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna sit on my pension, and they have 4 years.
These are people that sit there, they make stupid laws like this, criminal defamation. And collecting about 20-30 million a month.
Do you know what the money is? For I've forgotten there's an abbreviation for an acronym. The money for going abroad, to go abroad on governmental work.
The ESTA code.
ESTA code. Why are you like this? You are so fantastic. Do you know what ESTA code is? For a 2-day ESTA code, 2-day ESTA code, you go build house. Dollar will not be like. So why will they leave?
Yes, no.
And then they look around them, and it's everybody else is stealing more. It's like, it's me that's goody 2 shoes. They have wives that will even tell them, sorry, Saint Peter, sorry, For your information, Mama Jimo, her son is now in British International School. Oh, Daddy Shukujindu, his son is now, they go abroad for their holiday. Everything and everybody around you persuades you to steal even more.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then who can do that? You can't do it, Dolapo, because you have principles. Who principles help? Now people like Dino Fidwan.
No, if I'm to be involved in that, one or two things is going to happen in the current atmosphere as it is. One, either they kill me,
Ben.
or two, I adapt to their own conditions. Simple. There is no going there.
Yeah, and that is what everybody knows. That is what they all know. Even the ones who wanted just small local government chairman, who genuinely said, we go be by now. Wọ́n gọ́tà ń bí báyìí. Wọ́n ṣe kíní kan gbogbo títì wa bó ṣe rí. Nínú lọ ọdún méjì. There's some people who live within the communities that they want to empower and they want to promote. But the second they get there, pull it work.
Yeah.
Call it work. Anyway, we've completely.
Go ahead.
We've completely overrun our time. We're 10 minutes. Okay, no. We actually started late. So we didn't overrun our time. Thank you so very much once again. I was really worried about today, because there's not been a lot of scandal this week. It's been quite a quiet week. And you guys know, the people in the back of house know that I really struggle to come up with things to talk about. But I'm really glad that we were once again able to put the world to rights. I'm so glad. I want to take this moment to appreciate all of you. I don't say it enough. I love you. You're the wind beneath my wings. You make the show happen. I can't just be here talking to myself. To the listeners, God bless you. Thank you for standing beside humble beginnings. Thank you for not, saying, okay, no, so dry. Thank you. I know the messages I get in my WhatsApp. I know the messages I get on my Facebook messages. I know people who follow and actually make comments all through the shows. We have Talking Drum, which is a 2-hour show, and there are people who sit and literally listen from the beginning to the end. I love you. I thank you. It can only get better. Thank you so much. I don't know, maybe my periods are coming. I'm feeling a little bit mushy today, but thank you all so much for listening. It's been another fantastic episode of Aproko Hour. I'm gonna go around the room. You all say good night, and I will start with Rachel. Yeah.
Hi, good night from New York. Enjoy your Friday. People, don't do what I wouldn't do. I'm a very good girl.
In fact, the only thing that Rachel wants to do again.
She just threw shade. She threw shade at Carmen there.
The only thing Rachel will not do at this point is carry Bele. The only thing, every other thing is on the table. Nobody should answer her. Oh yeah, next, Abimbola, tell them, Jared, tell them what they should and shouldn't do.
They should do anything they feel like, so long as it's not hurting anybody. Enjoy yourself, everyone. Thank you for listening to us. And be back next week, Wednesday.
Yes. Next week, Wednesday, is going to be Talking Drum, 8 to 10 p.m. Tune in. We're going to let you know the topic up front. In another couple of days, we're going to come up with a topic I think you're going to love, and that'll be next Wednesday. And so the final person in the house, Amanda, thank you for staying with us all through. I can see that you're here. Say good night to everyone.
Good night, everyone.
That was our guest, our special guest of honor, Amanda. She is the director for Empower Woman. You'll probably hear more about that later on. Oh yeah, Barry White, give them that base and tell them how far for this weekend.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a nice weekend. Please, we need more topics on this show, especially at Aproko Hour. Always please search for anything about pastors, because they're always doing something wrong, or there's something in church going wrong. I have one on my page right now. I'm not sure if he's a choir member in church, busy watching twerking on his phone.
Do you know what? We've run out of time. Rachel, you should have seen this thing. That's how Pastor put his head down as if he was doing something serious. We thought, okay, maybe he's got a quick email, from Jesus or something. Come and see the big yash. In fact, the screen was not big enough on the phone to contain. We were only seeing like one and a half of the cheek of the rest of the yash was surplus, two surplus. It was, in fact. Anyway, you know how these pastors do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you can't be good, at least be good at it. Be safe. Be good to each other and also to yourselves. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you on Wednesday for Talking Drum. We're going to come with a banging topic and we look forward to sharing it with you. Have a fantastic weekend. God bless you. If you believe in God, if you don't, make your peace with Shango, Amadioha, choose your poison, and we will see you next week. Have a fantastic weekend. Goodbye. Bye.